Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi out here. It's Friday in the morning, and we've got a doubleheader today. Another chance for the Raptors organization to get a double W with the Raptors playing the Orlando Magic at Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. And the Raptors 905 out at Paramount Fine Food Center at 7:30 tip-off also against Austin Spurs, the G League team for the San Antonio Spurs, kicking off a 2-day back-to-back against the Spurs today and tomorrow. Austin Spurs in Paramount for 2 days with Malachi Flynn. But yeah, let's do the previews for both teams. As I just said, Malachi Flynn is on the Austin Spurs, so we should see him play. Also, David Duke on the Austin Spurs. A couple of players that are known that in those ways. David Duke, of course, being in the league more with Brooklyn in recent years and also San Antonio. So should be a good test. Jonathan Mobo was assigned to 905 yesterday to practice with them. So it seems like that's an indication that because of the health of the Raptors being very good again right now, knock on wood, continue that Mobo may be playing in the 905 game against the Austin Spurs and not against the Orlando Magic tonight, because he can't be at two places at once. And in some ways, the Raptors have seemed to set him to 905 yesterday to play tonight. That's interesting. In some ways, that sucks because Jonathan was doing a 82 game odyssey to get 82 games in his rookie season in the NBA. That may be ended tonight just because he's going to play for the G League affiliate instead. We'll have to see. Let's do the injuries real quick. There's very, very few for the Raptors at this point. There's one name on the list, and it's our guy, RJ. Illness has been listed questionable for today's game against the Magic, according to Eric Corrine of The Athletic. So, yeah, RJ's still battling an illness, but it could very well be that we're full barbecue tonight and that we are going to have every single Raptor healthy and available tonight for the first time this whole entire NBA season. That would be amazing. And in some ways, this will be showing the real Raptors, like we saw with Emmanuel Quickly on New Year's Day. So, yeah, I love it. Let's see if RJ can get okay, eat those crackers and some hot tea and get right, and bam, be ready to play at 7:30 tonight, RJ, at Scotiabank Arena against the Orlando Magic. The Magic have a lot of injuries. They're having major problems with injuries this middle of the season at this point. They've lost their two best players for extended time. They've shown the resiliency without Paulo Banchero not being able to play for about 2 months now. And Franz went out then about a month ago. And, well, after Franz went out, the Magic actually have been losing more than they've been winning. So they're like 3-4 in their last 7 since Franz Wagner went out with a bad injury. And then his brother went out with a season-ending injury right after that. So the Magic do have quite an injury list right now. We'll start at the bottom. Franz Wagner tore his oblique during a Friday game against the Sixers, and he's been out for about a month now. He's going to be reevaluated soon, next week, I believe, but he is still out. He will be out today. The best player for the Orlando Magic, Franz Wagner of Germany. His brother, Mortiz, suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee last couple Saturdays ago, unfortunately. So he's out for the whole rest of the season. Paulo has an oblique injury also, very similar injury to what Franz has. He's been able to go through some light contact work at practice this week, but he is still not available for them to play tonight. So no Paulo, no Franz. This is what I'm saying. Orlando is ripe for the picking. Gary Harris is out for the game today, announced yesterday due to a hamstring. Trevlin Queen, who could be playing for Austin or playing for the Osceola Magic, was not with them the other day when they played us. He has an illness, and he is listed as probable for today's game. It could very well be that the G League star is going to be playing for the Magic today. And Anthony Black, of course, the famous jersey switch with Grady. His back has messed him up, and he's a questionable status for today in the game against the Raptors. So, yeah, quite of an extensive Magic injury list, and especially with their two most important players are on the shelf. The Raptors surging up with a great win against the Nets, who, by the way, beat the Bucks last night. That 3-point win down to the wire. And their second night of a back-to-back, they beat the Bucks last night, the Nets, which is pretty impressive. I think that this is a game that the Raptors need to go ahead and take and win and have nine wins after tonight, because the Magic are not the normal Magic, and the Raptors are getting to be the normal Raptors. And we need to show our power against a weakened foe with two of their best players out for sure. So who are the Magic and who will be starting for them tonight since the injuries are that bad? Well, Jalen Suggs, good friend of Scotty Barnes, will be lining up on the other side. Of course, Jalen Suggs has a axe to grind with the Raptors for some reason. Doesn't like us for some reason. Some hype about us supposed to be drafting him has made him hate us for the rest of his life. So we'll see the very, very, very pugnacious and determined Jalen Suggs against us tonight. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Denver Nuggets franchise is now on Orlando this year. He will be playing. There's a rookie named Tristan De Silva who's been doing a lot of the scoring for them recently. So we got to watch out for this young, long-armed rookie that is very skinny, and hopefully we can stop him and mess him up, because he's probably their best option right now with the injuries that are going on. Their center right now is Goga Bizats. And honestly, Jakob needs to outplay him. That matchup right there is one that's ripe for the picking for Jakob to use some real veteran know-how against a younger center that may not be as well versed in what to do in the NBA. So the starting point guard could very well be our man from the six from the six, our guy from Pickering, Corey Joseph, of course, playing for the Magic this year. It's very possible that he could be starting, either him or Cole Anthony at the point guard. Of course, Cole Anthony's still on the team. Jonathan Isaac, that crazy MAGA idiot, is still on the Orlando Magic. Of course, he's on their team. Wendell Carter Jr. also suiting up for them. As I just mentioned, Cole Anthony, two offsprings of former NBA players, Cole Anthony and Jet Howard, are still on the Orlando Magic. So we'll see Juwan Howard's son playing in the game tonight, Jet. Also, they've got Scotty's best friend, Caleb Houston from Mississauga, at the end of the bench. Of course, Caleb played at Mount Verde with Scotty in high school. And, he almost could have been a Raptor, honestly. We may have finagled that instead of taking – you know what? Instead of taking Koloko, it's too bad the Magic took Houston right before Koloko in that draft, because in some ways I'd like to have Houston around with Scotty and Jonathan right now. So, yeah, that's kind of the Magic team. It's not as star-studded without Franz and Paulo. I'm going to say that right now. And honestly, we need to beat the hell out of them. We need to treat them like we treated Brooklyn the other night and not mess around and beat their asses. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. All right, let's go to the refs for both games. First of all, for the Austin at Raptors 905 game out at Paramount, Marcy Williams is the crew chief, number 72. The referee will be Gina Catanzariti, number 5. And the umpire is Kelsey Reynolds, number 15. I believe that's an all-female ref crew for the Austin Spurs at Raptors 905 out in Mississauga tonight. And be some double duty, double screen watching, trying to watch both games. Of course, my priority is for the Raptors, but I'll be paying attention to that 905 game also. And just to watch Malachi. In some ways, I got to watch Malachi and see what he's doing. If Malachi goes off, if there's going to be like a revenge game out at Paramount with Malachi Flynn, in some ways it'll be just sad. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, you're finally getting going now. And it's so long ago. You were on our team, man. Why didn't you do this when you had all the chances on the Raptors, man? Now you're going to kill us in a G League game. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just be Malachi like Malachi's been in the past. I don't know why I harp on him so much, but I just do. All right, the referees for the big enchilada, Orlando at Toronto tonight. The crew chief is Pat Frayer. Pat Frayer has refereed 3 games for the Raptors this season, guys, already. And guess what? You guys will never believe this. Every single game that Pat Frayer has refereed for the Raptors this year, we've won. I'm not lying. Seriously. We have won 3 games with Pat Frayer refereeing us this year, and only won 8 games the whole season. So out of those 8 games, Pat Frayer has been the referee for 3 of them. So this is a good sign, right? right? Pat Frere out of St. Paul, Minnesota, number 24, number 26 in his 24th season. He likes the show Yellowstone. He likes that movie, Caddyshack. His favorite musician is Billy Joel. He likes the book Paper Tiger. His favorite meal is barbecue, guys. His favorite meal is barbecue. He likes BBQ, baby. You might just get that BBQ tonight, man. You might just get that BBQ and we'll all cry because we're just like, yes, Barrett, Barnes, and Quickly are on the court together. Yes, barbecue. Pat Frere is a barbecue fan, and I hope he gets to see some barbecue on the court with Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly. That's right. His favorite app is the NBA app, of course. Of course. He's most like to visit Italy. His bucket list is to play golf at Augusta National and Pebble Beach, and his hidden talent is sleeping anywhere. This guy is the guy who can sleep anywhere. This guy can sleep standing up on a train moving 200 miles an hour through the coast of Japan. I'll bet you he could. I'll bet you he could. All right, Pat Frere has 2 years of collegiate officiating experience in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference and 10 years of high school officiating experience in the state of Minnesota. Yeah, like I said, Pat Frere, we've won all 3 games this season with him. It's amazing. I can't believe it. How did we do this? We won 3 games this season with him as a ref. It's fantastic. But this is the thing. This is the kicker, guys. We have a 49% win percentage with him, and the Magic have a 52% win percentage. So he actually favors the Magic, even though we've won 3 games with him, all 3 games that he's ref this year, which is fantastic. Honestly, that's amazing. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap, we won all 3 games when Pat Frere's refed us this year? That's fantastic. I love that. I love that. He probably reffed the Philadelphia game, the second game of the season, and a couple others. I should go look at that real quick. I want to see which games did Pat referee for us. Let me see how quickly I can look this up, and I can tell you exactly which games he reffed for us and why. This is why this happened. Let's see. Is this going to tell me the games that he's reffed? No, not that. Oh my gosh. Maybe I can't look at it directly. It's tough because I'm trying to figure this out. No, it doesn't have a direct link to tell me the exact games, unfortunately. All right, let's keep going. With the second ref is Kevin Cutler. Kevin Cutler is that big, huge ref that picked on Fred a couple years ago, threw Fred out after halftime. Number 34 in his 15th season out of L.A. He likes the show Homicide, Life on the Street. He listens to Luther Vandross. His favorite book is Give and Take. His favorite meal is chicken. He must like to visit Africa. His bucket list is to play the play 20 of the top 100 U.S. golf courses. Why not play all 100, Kevin Cutler? Why limit yourself? If you want to just play 20 of the top 100, why not try and play all 100 of them over your life? Come on now. His hidden talent is playing the trumpet. So him and Pat Frere both want to play some golf. Is basically what the common bond is here. Kevin Cutler refereed 6 seasons in the G League, working 2 final series in the 2018 All-Star Game. He also spent 6 years as a college basketball official, including assignments to the 2009 NIT and the 2010 NCAA tournaments. Yeah, Cutler, we have not seen this year yet. I was wondering if he was even reffing anymore because I hadn't seen him in any highlights or anything like that, the big ref. We win 53% of our games with Kevin Cutler present, and the Orlando Magic win 43%. So the split is 53-43 for the Raptors, with the second ref, the big man, Kevin Cutler, the very, very big man. The third ref is the ref that Fred VanVleet called a little bitch a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Why's Fred VanVleet got to do with all these refs? It's like Kevin Cutler threw him out. I remember a couple years ago at halftime. And then, when Fred went off in that one game where he called all 3 refs a bitch, this was the first one he called a little bitch, John Conley. John Conley out of Orlando. He's from Orlando. 4th season, number 56. He's a replacement ref during the pandemic. His favorite TV show is I Think You Should Leave. Favorite musician, Michael Jackson. His favorite book, Be the Pack Leader. His favorite meal, potatoes and pasta. He likes the movie Dumb and Dumber. He'd like to visit Australia, and his bucket list is to skydive in Dubai. Yeah. John Conley's first experience as a referee was officiating games with his mother in the men's 40 and over league. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Conley has not refereed us yet this year either. So we're getting 2 new refs for the first time this season. John is the best ref for the Raptors today, statistically. We win 58% of our games, and the Magic win 50% of their games. So 58-50 for the Raptors over the hometown Orlando guy with his Magic. So a couple of refs favor us. The crew chief does not, but the crew chief has a 3-0 record with the Raptors this season, inexplicably, in an 8-26 season. And Pat Frere 3-0 with us. Yeah, fantastic ref crew, honestly, guys. We'll have to see if John Conley's a little bitch tonight, and if Kevin Cutler is a big bitch. We'll have to see. There's your ref report for the Magic Raptors game at Scotiabank Arena. Tip-off, 7:30. Yeah, let's add another win to the win total of 8 and get 9 and get a 2-game win streak. Why not? Get a 2-game win streak. I feel like we could. We're going to play Milwaukee after this. And Milwaukee is susceptible, apparently. Even if they're fully healthy with all their guys, they lost to a Brooklyn Nets team last night. That makes me think, well, if the Nets can beat them, we can beat the Nets. Well, we can beat the Bucks in the game after this. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Lex. Let's think about the Orlando Magic, the shorthanded and Orlando Magic tonight. Take care of business. Don't play with your food. Emmanuel Quickly, be that floor general that we need so badly. And take this team, the reins, and show them how to win this game tonight against the Magic. Yeah, I feel real good about it. The parameters and the settings for us, we're just having to catch Orlando at a bad time of the season. This is not the time of the year that the Orlando Magic wants to see the Raptors right now. We're just catching them on the right time. This happened a couple years ago when we played a crazy 2-game series against Orlando in Orlando, and we lost both games, and it made our season crumble, fall right apart in the last year of Nick Nurse coaching us. Yeah, well, that was a horrible time for us to catch the Orlando Magic that season because they were on the upswing. They were playing a very high level. Well, this is the opposite. We're going to play them when they're down and downtrodden and injured. And hopefully we can kick their butt. That's what I want to be doing tonight. That's right. Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning. The Raptor Freak family in full effect, baby. Let's go, Raptor Freaks. And let's kick some butt. Let's get some wins in 2025. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Trevor J is here. Commissioner J is saying, don't ruin a good day because of a bad yesterday. I'm telling you, man. I'm 2 for 2 on 2025. It's the third day of 2025. I got to make this one another one where I can be 3-0. Yeah. Yeah. Because yesterday was a fantastic day. I had a fantastic New Year's Day going down to the arena and watching the Raptors beat the Brooklyn Nets by 17 on the 1st of 2025. Yesterday was a nice day. It was a very pleasant day spent with people that I love and just having a good time. And now, today, I want to see another Raptors victory against the Orlando Magic and keep this new year rolling in the right positive direction as it is. No bad yesterday. That bad yesterday was New Year's Eve, and that was in Boston at 3 o'clock earlier this week. No. That bad day, not letting it ruin the good times that are rolling ahead for us right now. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Commissioner Jay, for your words of wisdom. Happy game day. Let's go. And he's got the emoticon heads on blast. There's RJ, Emmanuel, Scotty, Garrett, Jarrett, Jamal, Ulrich, and Darko, and the spray paint can. Yeah, I got to get something going with those again. I'm sorry I've dropped the ball on them. I'm sorry, Fiercey, about not getting it together. In some ways, Fiercey, I got to train myself how to do it so that I can train you. And in some ways also, as I said, I'm a little bit not interested in collaborating too much with people right now and getting them responsibilities for my channel because I just want to go ahead and do all the stuff myself. And I'll figure it out. But if I can get you to help me, I will. Trevor's saying, is tonight we see the barbecue together? I hope so. I hope for Pat Frere's sake, the barbecue enthusiast, then all of us are barbecue enthusiasts. We want to see barbecue. And that means all 3 of them on the court together. Man, it's gonna be so awesome. Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly. Let's get them out there on the court together tonight. Cook some barbecue. That's right. Trevor's saying, I like the Raptors' new logo. What do you think of it? It was announced yesterday that for the Milwaukee game next week, that we're going to be having a special new logo for Indigenous Heritage Awareness. And it's a beautiful logo. It's done by an Indigenous artist in the community. And they're going to put it on hoodies and shirts, and it's all ready. You can buy it right now and get it ahead of time to wear it to the game against the Bucks next week. I think it's Sunday is the game. Sunday's the game. I think this Sunday in 2 days. Yeah, it's a beautiful logo. I think it's amazing. I think most people think it's very, very nice. It's basically the Raptors logo with the part in this is all filled in with different people standing in the sun, and it's very, very, very nice. It's a very, very cool logo. It's a very interesting interpretation of this logo, filling it out with images inside of the template and the frame of this logo. Very, very cool. If you haven't seen it yet, you can find it online. And if you like it enough, why don't you buy some of the apparel that it will be on so you can sport it? It's very, very cool, Trevor. I like it. I think most people do so far, from what I've heard. Monique is saying, "Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Go Raptors. Let's keep climbing up with barbecue. Anything is possible. Good chance today. Feeling good." Now let's hope that RJ's feeling good, because that is the last thing in the way of getting our barbecue. Scotty's fine. His eyes fixed. His ankle's all right. His hip's okay. He's out there and he's playing his ass off, playing the best basketball of his life so far. He's going to get even better. Manuel quickly finally returned. It was a surprise appearance on New Year's Day and was just a huge game changer. He was such a momentum swing, just such a big time player for the Raptors. And well, we just need RJ to get his tummy to feel better, and bam, we got that BBQ, and I'm all about it. So RJ, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling good today, and you are able to suit up and take the court at Scotiabank with your teammates, and we can see finally the fully healthy Toronto Raptors and what they are capable of. I know it's a lesser opponent because it's not the full health Orlando Magic. And I truly believe if we had to see Franz and Paulo tonight, that we would give them a good shot and a good competition. I don't know if we'd win for sure, but I know that we'd give them a good run with all of our guys healthy either way. So I'm glad in some ways that they're not healthy, because it's a little bit easier for us to ramp up from the injuries, coming back. But it is good. We need these tests because there's going to be healthy teams coming after them. And we're going to need to keep ramping up, not just as players coming back, like Emmanuel has to ramp up, but also as a team, we have to ramp up and start coming up with a really, really high quality basketball, playing very, very ethically clean and fundamentally right. And that's how we can win more games for the rest of the year. That's what I want to see. That's right. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak crew. Let's get this W tonight. I say the parameters and the settings are quite good for this. Of course, we're at home, which is always a big factor. If the crowd can come to the game like we did the other night and bring that defensive chant right from the start, every single time the Orlando Magic are touching the ball, I'd be so proud of you, Scotiabank Arena crowd. If you could do that in my place, since I'm not going to be there tonight, I did that on Wednesday night, and it worked real well, and they got the W. So be a factor tonight, crowd. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't look at the record. Don't look at different things. Just understand the barbecue may return to the court finally tonight, and y'all will be the privileged ones that get to see it for the first time. And y'all need to come correct and loud and chant defense every single time the Orlando Magic are in possession of the basketball. If you do this, this will help our Raptors' defensive energy immensely. So I'm pleading with you. If you are privileged enough to go to the arena tonight, please do what I just said. That would be so awesome. And you'll be doing it with my heart and my spirit, and an extension of what we need to do as Raptor Freaks to help our team win. I'm telling you, we got to do that. We can get this W tonight, Kaz. I'm telling you. Kareem is here. Good to see the dunk champion, Kareem Thomas. Man, you got so many dunks last year. I'm going to add it all up and show you guys how many you got. You're saying, is today the day we get to see Austrian barbecue dick? Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully there's no snafus. Hopefully there's no last minute barfing. Hopefully everything's good. And we get to see every single Raptor is healthy right now. And we have the full slate of different players that Darko can call on to put on the court for the Toronto Raptors tonight. Yeah, I hope so. This Mobo going to 905 is a good sign that they have confidence that they're going to have enough healthy vets that they can send that young rookie to Mississauga today. Yeah, that's a sign right there. Trevor J saying Warriors beat up on the Sixers. Really good. Steph Curry could not miss from 3, 8 for 8. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I see Dennis is having a little bit of a mixed bag coming there. He didn't play very well at times, but he played pretty good last night. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Why not? The division opponent. I have no love lost for the Philadelphia 76ers. So if they're losing to the Warriors last night, I'm not upset about that. Go on then, Steph Curry, young middle school Torontonian. Go on and do that then, Steph Curry. Yeah, I ain't mad at that at all. Andrew Wiggins. That's right. Keep going. Kareem saying, I encourage anyone that has something go well in their favor today to do the little Scotty twerk. That's a good idea. I like that, Kareem. That's a good encouragement. I'm gonna give you a dunk for this. This will be your first dunk of the year. It's a little bit different than what you would get for a dunk. I like this because I think that if anybody has anything cool happen in their life, you feel like celebrating, do that little Scotty dance that he did right in front of Jordy Fernandez's face and Juwan Howard. They're sitting there and they kind of tried not to look at him. It is kind of disrespectful to shake your booty in the face of your opponents after you make a big three, but he kind of earned it and deserved it. And he did put it a little bit on blast on his Instagram. In fact, let's go look at that real quick. First of all, Lloyd celebrating the Oklahoma City Thunder's win over the Clippers last night, 116-98. Yeah, that's a fun win personally for SGA because of getting traded from the Clippers for Paul George. And yeah, that's always going to be a special matchup for him to try and beat the crap out of Steve Ballmer's team for making such a horrible decision. Maybe one of the worst trades in the history of the NBA, SGA to Oklahoma City for Paul George. Yeah, make him remember that. And Lloyd is all about it. He's a huge Thunder fan. Jamal McGlure has got some crazy golfer guy trying to jump across a little creek, but he makes it and then he falls back and then he falls right in the water. That's pretty silly stuff, Jamal. I don't even know what that's about. It says there might be alligators in that water too. Look out, man. Let's see. There's some guy walking down the street. Is that Master P? Who is that? Who's that talking, walking down the street? I'm not listening to him. I don't know what he's saying. It kind of looks like Master P. Is that Master P? It might be, actually. Is he talking about being on the Raptors? Oakley has a young fan wearing his old 34 for New York. He's saying, thank you, Seth and Kevin, for the support. Happy New Year. There you go. Charles Oakley, Raptors and Knicks legend, still connected to the community and getting support from the youngsters. He's rocking a 34. Man, that man ain't played in the league for like, what, 20 years? And y'all wiring a Charles Oakley 34 right now, youngsters? Man, you are a throwback. That's right. That's a throwback. Jonathan Mobo has got Emmanuel Quickly on blast on his Instagram right now. Of course, Emmanuel's the hero of the week, man. This guy is our dude. He's bringing that winning lifeblood back to the Raptors right now. There's Davion Mitchell saying everybody's skipping this hard. That's right, because Emmanuel Quickly is a hero, and there he is skipping through. And it is true. Literally, all the Raptors are skipping off the bench, skipping towards him after that skip in the game the other night. So happy to see. I know I was so happy. I was skipping in the crowd. I was skipping myself. Jamal Shed showing some kid getting his hair cut. Looks like he's getting a little shave underneath there. And there he is in the back getting the picture with Sheik. Emmanuel Quickly wearing his Sheik towel on his head with his chain around his neck and getting the high five. He looks like a pharaoh, man. It's like Emmanuel with you with that towel over your head and then like with that big gaudy Raptors 30th anniversary chain. You look like you're ready to go into the tomb with Tutankhamun because you look so regal and so Egyptian godlike is what I'm going to say right now. This guy is like that right now. That's the way he's moving right now. Seriously. But yeah, Jamal's in there with him getting a high five with the Tutankhamun right there. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's see what else is going on. Eric Smith is showing off the unveiling of the indigenous inspired logo for the Heritage game. It's cool. It's like one part of it is black, but then there's a sun and a horizon, and there's two figures with long hair. One has the basketball, and you kind of see leaves in it too. They did a really good job of incorporating the structure of the Raptors logo with some new art in it. It's a very, very beautiful logo, and it's very cool. And I'll look forward to seeing it on the players this Sunday in the game. Wubbs has a picture of him with Sheik, Tutankhamun, Mr. Emmanuel Quickly, and he's got the thumbs up, the goofy thumbs up. That's like something I would do in a picture when I was younger. Yeah, my sister-in-law hated her wedding photos because I did that in almost all the pictures. I did that like in every picture what Jacoby's doing. Man, Rook, you're awesome, man. Jacoby, you're awesome, man. So enthusiastic. There is a highlight from Baylor, something going on with Baylor on Jacoby's things. And there he is coming in the game wearing the Supreme jersey with the headphones on and just a big cheesy smile. Jacoby Walter's really enjoying the NBA. I have a feeling he really, really is. He's really, really feeling the blessings of God has given him, and he is just reveling in happiness because he plays in the NBA. It doesn't matter the win loss in some ways right now. It's just the fact that he's doing it and he's doing it right. That's the thing. Jonas Valanciunas on his Instagram. We don't talk about Jonas too much, but he's showing a picture of when they played the Bulls the other day, and he's with his young Lithuanian friend Matas Bazelis. That's right. He's a friend with the youngster on the Bulls, the rookie, and he wanted to show his friendship with him on his Instagrams. That's pretty cool to see. Let's see. Eugene Omaroi has got some winter jackets. He's saying Dream Works Day. So I don't know. Maybe he's giving some jackets to people that need jackets. It's literally snowing like crazy out here right now. It's coming down right now where I'm at. Yeah, Eugene's got the jackets for some people. If they need jackets, it's winter in Canada. Yeah, you need that jacket. Bruno Fernando got the pictures of pregame when the lights come on off, and they put the flashlights on the phones. And Herbie saying, "Put your flashlights on. Put your flashlights on." That's such a beautiful thing when we do that in our arena. The Northern Lights at the introduction. There he is, high-fiving a young fan in our arena. Also, RJ Barrett has a new ad out for PlayStation with Leah Edwards. And there's a basketball rolled to him, and they look like they're in the underpass somewhere in Toronto, and they're going to put the ball up. So, yeah, there's a whole new ad campaign that just came out with our guy RJ for PlayStation. So check out the new PlayStation ads with him and Aaliyah Edwards of the WNBA. Grady Dick highlights on his Instagram. It was one of these nice shots he shot over the nets, where he came through, he split the defenders and rolled right up, and D'Angelo's in his way, and he just elevated, and he kind of just flipped the ball up into the basket. A really nice little finger roll, just like an ABA 70s player would have done. And there's the stat line, 22 points, 3 steals, and 4 3-pointers made. He should have had 4 steals because it said he had 4 at one point. They must have took one away. Kelly Olynyk showing his pregame warm-up, his ugly-ass footwork, and his crazy-ass little flip shot himself. Not as graceful as Grady, that's for sure. And Kelly's also celebrating Grady Dick's 1,000 points in the NBA already. So he's putting on blast the young sophomore for his achievement of getting 1,000 points in the NBA already. Love to see the vet celebrating the youngster. Manuel Quickly's got Scotty Barnes' Instagram story reposted on his. Yeah, 5, that beautiful pass lob where he just flipped it up over to Scotty on that alley-oop dunk. That's a beautiful play. And I love to see the teammates reposting each other on the Instagram. Let's see what else is Raptors official. It's a fierce Scotty picture and saying, vote for Scotty and All-Star, y'all. Get those votes in. There's Slim Duck behind the scenes with his hair up and getting ready for the game. There's Davion's awesome half Blue Jays, half Raptors jacket. Here's part of the ad with RJ for something going on. He's with Grady Dick, and they're out on a track in Toronto and Scarborough. They're out near the Bluffs, and they're talking about something. Oh, and Akil Augustine's out there too. So they're out there, and I don't know what they're doing out in the field. It's something to do with they're going to Hometown Hidden Gems, sponsored by Canadian Tire, is what's going on there. I don't know. We'll have to see what that's all about. There's the game day with Jakob. And, yeah, it's a triple vote day, guys. So make sure you vote for Scotty on triple vote day. Vote for all your Raptors. My all-star vote has been the same every day. Scotty, RJ, Jakob, Grady, and it was Oshai. Now that Emmanuel came back, I gave him 1 vote yesterday because Emmanuel showed up, and he did like an all-star kind of game performance in the first game back from his injury on New Year's Day. So, yeah, vote your Raptors and vote them every day to help them get in there. That's right. Get in there and get that. Yeah, let's see what else is going on with the chat. Nameless is here. Good to see Paisano. Nameless. I may shed a tear. Did you put the name shed in there on purpose? I may shed a tear of joy should a full complement of barbecue be presented. Yeah. When you show up to the picnic at the park, do you want just ribs? No, you want chicken too. And you may even want some brisket. Yeah, you might want ribs, chicken, and brisket. You want all 3. And when you get all 3, the B, and the Q, that is so much sweeter. Très magnifique. Yes, that's what we want tonight. Shed a tear as the compliments to the chef,
that we finally got this, Chef Darko, the beautiful barbecue we're cooking up here in Toronto. Let's see it on display tonight, proudly, like a mama that put the plates out on the table and sees everybody eating her food. Just gonna be so proud to see barbecue cook tonight. Finally, hopefully, we'll see. RJ, hopefully you feel good and you're ready to play. That's right. Carlos saying, morning, Lex and fellow freaks. I know De Silva has Canadian blood or heritage. Ooh. Yeah, he's been their best player recently, their highest scoring player. Looking at their schedule and what they've done, like I said, they their last 7 games, they're 3-4. So they have struggled since Franz has been out, because actually they're worse than 3-4. They're 3-6 in their last 9. And that's pretty bad, considering like when Wagner went out, they had lost 2 games in a row. And then they've just lost since he's been out. They're 3-4, but they've actually lost 2 before that. So they're really 3-6 in their last 9 games. And that's pretty bad. Like they lost to Detroit on New Year's Day. And yeah, that Jalen Suggs is the guy who's carrying them with the scoring for the most part. So he's an undersized guard, and he's somebody that Oshai should be able to tie up real nice and not let do a whole lot. I mean, we actually have the kind of guards that match up really well with Orlando's strengths right now. If their strengths are going to be Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony, well, those are smaller guards that Davion Mitchell, Jamal Shed, Emmanuel Quickly, and Oshai Abaji, Jacoby Walter, they can tie up and really kind of stymie and not, they're not as dangerous. And then if De Silva is the other guy who's doing something for them, he's a long arm, skinny guy. He's not very strong. We may be able to muscle him around and really kind of negate him also. So, yeah, we got to also say that both the Wagners are important. Mo is important in his own way, that he really was the big size coming off the bench for the Magic. And they miss him not being around as being that big guy, kind of goon, kind of Kelly Olynyk for them. So, yeah, it's going to be, they're ripe for the picking, is what I'm saying right now, y'all. The Magic are ripe for the picking. And it just might happen to be that the ship of the Raptors passing the Magic ship at the right time in the season, and we can jump on board and be pirates and rip up their boat. It feels real good. It looks like we can. Yeah. Kareem saying, if I'm Pat Riley, I'm shipping Jimmy Butler's ass to Washington. You ain't going to call the shots around here, my boy. That's interesting. So this is another one of these situations where he said, she said these kind of things. And this is what he said. Jimmy said, I don't want to play for Miami anymore. You need to trade me before February the 9th. And Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra are saying, we have no want to trade you because you're Mr. Heat culture. You're the embodiment of Heat culture. And if you leave, we're going to lose Heat culture. Because that's kind of where they're at with it. Seriously, Jimmy Butler may be the last holder of the excellence of Eric Spoelstra's Heat culture or on the team that kind of keeps it up. And in some ways, if he goes, man, they might let that Heat culture kind of slide as far as like the excellence or how they do things. And that may be part of the reason why Jimmy wants to leave, is because he's like, all right, I've been here in Miami and I've seen how Heat culture was when I first got here. And well, it's changed. Kyle's not here anymore. And Kyle used to help me keep up Heat culture. That was part of the fun of playing here, was I was playing with Kyle. But Kyle's not here anymore. Y'all traded him for Terry Rozier. And I don't like Terry Rozier. He's annoying. He's kind of scary. And well, what is this Heat culture thing? Some of y'all are soft. And this isn't exactly what Heat culture is supposed to be. It's kind of going down. I want to get traded. Pat, trade me. Pat's like, no, Jimmy, we can't trade you. You're a Heat culture. If we trade you, we don't have Heat culture anymore. We have to change all our apparel. We'll have to change that special court that says Heat culture on it, because we'll be having false advertising if we trade you. That's kind of how it is. Like, seriously, if you think about it, that is the situation with the Miami Heat right now and Jimmy Butler. They don't want to lose their Heat culture. And Heat culture is like, I want to check out, y'all. Take me somewhere else. I want to take my Heat culture somewhere else right now. It's crazy, man. All right, let's see. Kareem's also saying, I need Barnes to have a monstrous game versus Jalen Suggs. I'm tired of Suggs hyping up because he plays sporadic defense when he's matched against Scotty. Yeah, man. In some ways, Jalen Suggs, he's weird, man. Like, he's definitely somebody who really comes up against us with some force and determination and anger.
And I mean, I respect that, and I understand kind of why it's like that, but he doesn't really need to be like that. Now, some of y'all have also noted that Jalen Suggs does this to everybody, maybe just a little bit extra for Toronto, but he does kind of come this way at everybody all the time because that's just his player build and who he is. I mean, I don't know. I think that once again, he's a very, very determined badass, like with effort, but he does have limits to his skills. And if we hindsight, really, every time we see Orlando are going to do this, why did we pick Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs? Well, it's very evident why. And I would say this over and over again. If there's any holdouts, they're still saying we should have picked Jalen Suggs over Scotty Barnes. You're crazy. You're stupid. And that's part of the reminder whenever you play Orlando is like, all right, let's see Jalen Suggs and let's see Scotty Barnes and let's see that Masai and Bobby made the right decision on that draft day when we drafted Scotty at number 4. So yeah, that's how I look at it right there. Exactly right there. Yeah. Most saying this, how did Jordan Poole pass Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett in first All-Star voting results? Shaking my head. Excuse me. Keep voting. I'm not even looking at that. I don't care about this. Part of it is Jordan Poole is a former Golden State Warrior, and he has a lot of let's just put it this way. He has a weird contingency of female fans that really like Jordan Poole because of his looks. They like that he's cute. And so he gets a lot of votes from young women that just like him because they physically are attracted to him. That's part of it there. Some of it is that there are Warriors, a nation that still really loves him and respects him and puts him on there. It's not Wizard fans that are doing this. No, it's his connection to his earlier career with the Warriors that gets him this boost. The thing is, our guys are not going to get any consideration. Sure, the Wizards are worse than us, but who cares, Mo? I'm not even paying attention to the All-Star tallies. I'm just going to vote diligently for our guys and hope, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's not like they showed up on any of the lists, any of the top 10 lists for the All-Star voting, and probably rightfully so, honestly. And Scotty can start making a case with huge, monstrous games all throughout 2025 leading up to the All-Star game. Yeah, the coaches may put him in there. If not, he'll be a replacement like last year or something like that. We'll have to see. A lot of people probably, most average NBA fans across the league, not Raptors fans or anything, don't think that the Raptors deserve a single All-Star is what we're going to have to get used to, Mo. And that's probably true, honestly. And this is you know how much of a Raptors fan I am. It's probably true that we don't deserve an All-Star this year. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And it's just because of our record and just the way we played recently has been really bad other than the game that we just played. So I don't know. I'm not upset about this. In some ways, I'm not going to get upset or figure this out or be wound up about it at all in some ways. Yeah. So let's see what's going on with, okay, Giovanni's going to be here. All right. Hopefully Giovanni can behave himself. And if he can't, well, we'll time him out. All right. So let's see what's going on. Blackhawks stand 19 people in here and only 4 likes. Can we get 6 more likes? There you go. We got 9 now. Thank you, Blackhawk, for pushing that, Neil. I appreciate that. Oh, baby, we're at 6 likes. Can we get 4 more likes? There you go. This guy's pushing me for getting likes. I don't even know what those stats. I mean, I've never cared about those either. I mean, if I get likes, I get likes. It's cool. But I appreciate you, Neil, for pushing for them. Hook up Lex. 4 more likes. It's free. Oh, so good. All right, Reggie's here. Smooth. Good morning to you, sir. Lex. Jimmy Butler has formally requested a trade from the Miami Heat. He is no longer denying it. Do you think the Raptors should somehow get involved? I'm trying to think. Well, first of all, I don't think this is a destination that Jimmy would prefer. I think that in some cases, if he had the choice of staying in Miami or coming to Toronto, he'd probably just stay where he is. So I don't know if this is realistic. I don't know if he's on our timeline. I mean, I'd always love to have Jimmy Butler on the Raptors. He's a player that I'd be very happy to have in a Raptors jersey at any time because I respect his body of work over his long career and just who he is as a player and his determination and his professionalism. But I don't think it's a fit because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to him. And in a lot of ways, it doesn't make sense for our franchise either. So I would say pass on that. Yeah, pass on that. Like I said, woo, 7 likes. Can we get 3 more likes? I didn't know you were hyping it up. Like now we're at 11, guys. Wow, look at that. Neil is making it happen. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate that. Smooth saying should somehow get involved, perhaps use Bruce Brown's expiring deal as a third team, get a young asset.
Well, I think if we're the third team in a deal with Jimmy Butler, we're not the team getting Jimmy Butler. We'd just be the team that's helping to facilitate things and maybe being an opportunist and unloading Bruce Brown and getting maybe some things that we want that are helpful, like draft picks or a young star that fits more with what we're trying to do. Like, I really kind of do want to trade for a power forward or a center. I feel like we need that need badly right now, and that we can't go wrong with getting somebody who's a little bit more skilled as a 4 or 5 just to bolster our depth at that position on our team. When Jakob goes out, it's very scary. It's a very, very scary world if Pirtle is not able to play for the Raptors. And I want to have a little bit more manpower in that area on our team just in case anything happens, God forbid, knock on wood. No, we don't want any more. So that's where I'm at with that. Yeah. I would think we're the third team and we're not involved with Jimmy landing here. Maybe we're taking advantage of the situation and getting some really good assets in that situation. We'll have to see. Jamie Pope saying the all-star voting system is extremely flawed. The fact that Paul George is on the list is hilarious, not to mention Jordan Poole. Yeah, it's all stupid and dumb. It's always been that way, though. They've had people get voted into the All-Star and been injured the whole year just on name alone so many times in the history of the All-Star game. And there's often an injury replacement kind of player that gets put into the starting lineup instead of the guy who shouldn't have been voted in by the fans in the first place because they didn't even play a single game this year. You know, this happens all the time. This is something that's not new. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you really want my opinions on fair ballots and fair elections, the election for the U.S. was not fair with the way they made the ballot. I looked at it when I got mine, and I'm like, yeah, no wonder this kind of stuff is happening. You know, they probably paid to put idiot who won on top of it, on the top. So that a lot of people just check the first person because they don't even look. Well, the same kind of stuff happens with the all-star ballot for the NBA. As far as they'll make it really weird and hard to find certain players and teams, and they decide who they stack in the order on each category. And like I said, the first names are going to get the higher preferential click on because they're the easiest. And they're like, oh, yeah, this guy, I think he's great. When they're the first ones they see. So the NBA can manipulate who's getting the votes by stacking them. I know that they've stacked them in the past by points per game. Like the highest points per game will get the highest spot in it. It's not alphabetical. There's no rhyme or reason. They can very much heavily influence who they get the votes to by how the website is and interacting. Before, when it was a piece of paper and you had a little pencil at the arena and you poked it in and you put it in the little ballot box, you know, that was a lot easier to be a more fair ballot and a more fair system. But online, they can manipulate things so crazy with the website and just getting access to trying to vote for your favorite players just to find them. So it's hard to dig up the Raptors on the All-Star voting website. That's part of it right there. That's part of it right there. Very, very hard to dig them up. Yeah, Stargate saying the voting is rigged. I noticed that a few years ago. Yeah, it's rigged by what I was just saying. The infrastructure for the website is not like, you know, the way if you go to click team, I want team, it'll bring this whole thing down and it'll cover up a whole bunch of names. And if you don't go back up and click that off, it's hard to click the names underneath. And they can actually hide Scotty underneath a tab and you don't even see them, you know, and people are not trying as hard to vote for people and determine. They're just doing it casually. Well, they're not going to find certain names to vote for naturally because of the way the website is set up. Go look at it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about if you mess around with it. Neil saying, hook Lex up. 3 more likes, please. All right, there you go. You got me to 11, man. All right, let's see. Giovanni's here. Let's see what Giovanni's saying real quick. Did I tell you teams not playing with their food anymore and a win over bottoming out nets really means nothing? All right, I'm just going to time you out. I don't even want to listen to you, man. I might even hide you from this channel because this is not what we do here. It's not like you're an expert on the Raptors, my guy. You're just going to tell us how it is? Nah, man, you're in timeout. You stepped in the wrong hole in the wrong place in the wrong time right at the bat. I'm not going to waste my time even reading your comments today because my time is valuable. I have things to do, and I don't have time to listen to Giovanni's negative bullshit is what I'm going to say right now. Yeah, there you go. Smooth saying the Nets beat the Bucks last night. Laugh out loud. Jordy doesn't quit. Yeah, they're so bad and bottoming out, Giovanni. They just beat the NBA Cup champions. You idiot. Yeah, I'm not trying to make friends here, Giovanni. This Lex is not as friendly as he used to be. If you come in here and disrespect my Raptors, I'm going to disrespect you. is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you 2 more comments, and if they're just as bad as the first one, you're going to get kicked out of the channel forever. Seriously, I'll strike you out and kick you out. He's saying Raptors need a top 3 pick to get the legit number 1 scoring option. Bullshit. That's strike number 2. RJ Barrett is a legit scoring option. And you know what? Scotty Barnes is too. And he's been showing it more and more in the last couple games. Even if you hate Scotty and you think Scotty's this and Scotty's that, Scotty is a fantastic first option who got 33 points in the last game that he played and was the dominant number 1 player in the last game we played. So don't give me this bullshit. I'll knock this shit out of the lane just like Mutombo would on a block shot. All right. Nako's saying, I love Jimmy Butler. Trading for him is not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's a different time frame for him. He's really trying to get that last hurrah. And the Raptors aren't near that to give that to him. And in some ways, he respects our team. And I'm sure he probably would have played for us at some point in his career when he's younger, but not at this point and not where we're at with our rebuild. It just doesn't make any sense. And like Nako's saying here, it doesn't make sense for the price probably too. What would we have to give Miami to get him? And why would we get him at the tail end of his career in this situation? It just doesn't make sense. Not at all. All right, let's see. Giovanni, one more time. I'm going to read you one more. You may think Scotty Barnes may become a number 1 scoring option in 3 years, but it's a 5% chance. If it doesn't happen by the 4th year, self-creation showing up out years is unlikely. Well, you're stupid because you're not actually opening your eyes and looking at what's happening. That man is making shots over people. He's beating people. He's very much a very reliable scoring person. He's doing stuff like Kawhi would. So I can't help you, man. You can't open your eyes to the truth. If you just want to deny it, if you want to be a down low Raptors hater, well, you ain't got no place in here. And you're going to go right now. You're going to go right now. And I don't want you to watch my channel anymore. Honestly, you're gone, bro. You're gone. I have zero tolerance at this point. I had a lot of toxic people around my channel last year, and I fucking kicked them out. And I ain't having it this year in 2025. The very, very short patience for this kind of bullshit because we got the right fans here, the ones that understand what this channel is all about. And since you can't get with the program, well, you ain't going to be a part of the program. How about that? There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Monique is saying, Lex, I reached out to the artist who did indigenous sweaters, and he liked my comment. I'm at that game tonight, obviously. Cool. She's going to be there tonight. Hopefully you can bring that good energy once again, Monique, and we can replicate what we did on New Year's Day tonight. I feel real good about it. I really do. The ref crew's great, and the Magic are hurt right now. And even if we got negative Giovanni telling us that our team sucks and they're never going to have this or that, well, fuck you, Giovanni. We'll show you tonight when the Raptors kick the Magic's ass. All right, how about that? How about that? There we go. There we go. Smooth saying, Nako, I don't mean trade for Jimmy. I mean get involved as a third team, a three-way trade using Bruce Brown's expiring contract to get value. I think that's the only way it would happen. Yeah. I think it could be exploitive. It could be. Yeah. I could see Bobby and Masai trying to see what's going on, and maybe they can take advantage of something like that. Who knows? I don't think it's likely, but who knows? I think that this is the most likely scenario, Reggie, what you're saying here as a third team. There you go. Stargate saying Giovanni is either a Xeno-American fan of another American-based team or a SWS alt-right Canadian hockey fan. I think that he's a Torontonian. He is from Toronto, I think, from what I remember. But I think you're right that he's a general Toronto fan and that he's just dabbling in the Raptors every once in a while. He likes to come in and talk to us about the Raptors here and there. I think that's what it is. He's probably a hockey fan. You're probably right. That's probably what it is. I don't think he's American, though. I think he's from Toronto. I think he's a Toronto guy. Blackhawk saying 905 will work on Mobo finishing at the net and getting aggressive. It is the best thing to happen to him. I think it is a good thing for him, too. I mean, the playing time's going to really get cut now with the full health of the Raptors. And in some ways, we don't want him slowing down in what he's doing and learning. And, well, 905, that's why it's been created. And, well, it's time for him to go there. And, you know, the crazy thing is, think about this. What if Jonathan goes to 905? He hasn't played a whole lot at 905. He's played maybe 1 or 2 games. What if he goes there and he gets like a 20-10 game because he's just unleashed and they're maybe going through him more and trying to use him more? What if they're trying to say, yeah, we want you to be Scotty here, so you do all the things Scotty does on this level, and let's see what you do. Let's see what he does, stat stuffing. Because he stat stuffs on the NBA level. Well, what can he do on the 905 level as far as stat stuffing and maybe even possibly expanding his offense because he's getting a lot of shots and the ball's sent to him. This is why this could be very good for Jonathan. even if he feels like, oh man, I've been enjoying being in the NBA level most of this time and going down there. I kind of want to be with Scott. It's like, look, man, you could be Scott yourself at that level today against the Austin Spurs and Malachi Flynn. That's what I'm saying right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Blackhawks saying, we have 10 likes. Thanks, all you Raptor freaks. There you go. 13 now. Look at Neil getting the likes up. I appreciate that, man. Stargate saying trading for Jimmy Butler at this stage of his career is pointless. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on this lately. I think that he's amazing. I think that he deserves to go to a team that's competing to go far in the playoffs, because that's where he can help a team the most. He won't help a team like ours in the right ways just by counseling like Garrett Temple does. No, he needs to compete. He needs to be Jimmy Buckets, and he needs to be on a team that has a real chance to go get the Larry O'Brien. At least that's what he wants. I'm pretty sure. He doesn't feel like he has that in Miami, obviously. He doesn't feel like he has that. Yeah, Nako saying it smooth. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm all good with salary dumping to go get some picks out of it. Yeah, there you go. I like that. Bryce Lawson's back in the chat for 2025. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Bryce. I'm going to give you a dunk for holding it down stateside for us in Kentucky. Yeah, we love our Bryce Lawson. He's a good guy. And I appreciate you being here today. Let's see. This is your first dunk for 2025, my guy. 3-pointer for you, Bryce Lawson. It's good to see you back in the chat. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Let's see. Blackhawks saying Butler for Fox. Butler for Fox. De'Aaron Fox. That's an interesting thing. Jimmy would be playing with DeMar all of a sudden. That would be weird in a way, too. It's like they've crossed paths like with friendship with Kyle Lowry. But it's like, it's weird. Jimmy with DeMar. Would that help? Would that help the Sacramento Kings in their situation? Maybe. That's a very interesting thought exercise, Neil. Stargate saying Giovanni, unnecessary and irrelevant, nonsensical prattle. And that's why it's been deleted by Raptor Streak. It says view deleted message. I'll just pass. I have better things to do with my day. Carlos saying, well, OG is doing pretty good for himself right now. He didn't need to be Kawhi. Yeah, I don't even know. You're responding to Giovanni? All right, I'm going to think about what he's saying. Yeah, OG is fantastic. OG has been amazing for the Knicks. I'm very happy for OG. I wish him health to see continue to be very, very good for them. And yeah, we just love OG Anunoby. Ain't nothing wrong with OG. Nah, Kawhi, well, he hasn't been able to be healthy. And he made one of the worst mistakes in NBA history, turning his back on a Raptors dynasty he could have walked into. Yeah, what an idiot. What an idiot. Wayne Strainer saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Another game for the Raptors healthy crew to get together and produce another win. Staying healthy for the rest of the season is our Raptors wish. Happy hunting. Yeah, I'm all about that. You know, I had a Christmas wish, a birthday wish. You know, everybody's had wishes, and we've been using them for health for the Raptors right now. That's our wishes right now. We just want to be healthy. It's not even want championships, not even want to make the playoffs. It's just we want to be healthy. That's our wish right now. It's a very sensible wish, a very modest wish. It's not crazy Christmas wish or birthday wish. So please, can we get our Christmas wish, our New Year's wish, that the Raptors stay healthy for a long, long, long time? Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm with that. Wayne Strainer, good morning to you. Stargate saying blocked. That's right. We got him blocked out here. That's right. Box him out and get all the rebounds. This is actually a key to the victory today. The teams that have beaten the Magic recently have dominated the boards. And we need to dominate the boards against a smaller Magic team without their main important players. And yeah, Mo Wagner is a big rebounding guy for them. You know, Franz and Paulo get their share. And well, Jakob and Scotty and the guys need to dominate the boards today and take it to them. And if we can get in transition and run up and down the court, that's all the better too, because that's one of our big strengths is running that floor, just like Scotty did, dunking it on their heads. That's right. Blocked. That's right. Let's see. Carlos saying SB wasn't really projected as a 30-point per game scorer, so no one is disappointed. Only you, Giovanni. Yeah, why are you so disappointed, Giovanni? You don't need to be disappointed. Scotty is a special player. He's unlike anybody else in the league right now. And in some ways, I'm very happy with him. I think that the mix of what you're worried about is going to be filled in by the combination of the barbecue. That RJ is going to give a certain amount of determined, very aggressive, going to make this shot kind of offense. Emmanuel's going to have a certain level of leadership and floor generalness that'll make up for certain things. And Scotty will be the glue guy that does all the things to fill in all the other spots. And I don't see what that's a problem with that. Teams have different players that take care of different things for their teams. And well, the Raptors have a pretty interesting puzzle fit together. And I feel like these guys will take care of the areas that you feel like we may lack. RJ may be a 30-point scorer, and Scotty may not be. But there's nothing wrong with that. We just need our guys to be healthy. Now, Scotty can rise up when RJ's out because he's sick and get 30 points per game. Well, that's really good too. So we're going to have to see, man. We're going to have to see. I feel real good about our barbecue. I think that you calling out that our team's not good enough to compete, a little premature, Giovanni, is what I'm saying. You're a little premature with that. Yeah, and a little immature maybe with that too. Yeah, Miami Heat drama. Yeah, it's fun. And it's kind of weird when it has to do with like Pat Riley in the middle of it. It kind of makes me think of when Pat Riley told Kyle Lowry he needs to lose some weight. That was so funny. Remember when that happened? He's like, Kyle is not in shape. He needs to be in better shape. But you know what? Kyle listened to him and he did get in better shape. He didn't try and fight Pat on that. He was like, man, that's Pat Riley. I can't go against him. I got to listen to him. Well, this is a different one. In some ways, yeah, they don't want to see Jimmy leave. But you know what? I don't know if they're going to let him leave either. That's the thing. Jimmy, you can demand a trade. It doesn't mean you'll get one in today's NBA. And Pat Riley's that kind of guy who may hold you despite. Yeah. And somebody said earlier, maybe they'll trade you to Washington. Yeah, that could happen if you're not careful in some ways. We got to remember that. Carlos saying we don't need him as a 30-point scorer. He's a unique talent that can do everything at the high level with good vision. It's much harder to find a player like that. Yeah, this is totally true. Scotty is one of the hardest player types to find in the NBA. He's not a every draft kind of guy. He's more like a generational player. And if you don't want to see that, Giovanni, well, that's your own damn blindness to it because we see it and we understand it. I mean, the last game, he was two-way. He was blocking shots and stealing the ball, and then he was also making mid-range and dunking the ball and hitting threes. So what's the problem here, man? Get with the program. Scotty Barnes is a badass. Scotty Barnes is the right guy for our team. And if you don't like Scotty Barnes, well, we don't like you. Yes. All right, let's see. Carlos saying this. And while he's not an offensive predator right now, he is in the down low, kind of turned the corner in the last 4 games. Just so you know, he is a little bit more of an offensive predator at this point. Who knows? Who knows in the coming year? A no-level scorer coming out of college, and look at him now. He scored 33 last game, by the way. Yeah. The knock on Scotty was he couldn't shoot coming into the draft. And, well, he's worked on that so well, and his shot is so good, honestly. He shoots so well right now. In fact, like, if you look at the way Scotty shoots, he shoots very similar to Kawhi. The action and all the things that he's doing is very similar to Kawhi. And Kawhi is one of the best fundamental shooters in the world because, honestly, he can't make that 4 bounce in a 7-game against the Philadelphia 76ers with Jimmy Butler like he did without being fundamentally amazing shooter with his mechanics and the way he spins the ball off his hands and stuff like that. That shot does not bounce around and fall in through the net like that without that kind of stuff. And Scotty has that kind of stuff with his jump shot. Seriously, you can look and watch him. Watch Kawhi for 5 minutes, him shooting around, and watch Scotty and watch how he shoots around and realize the parallels and they're very similar. And not only are they similar in that, they're similar in the claw attributes on the defensive end as far as stripping and stealing the ball and blocking shots very emphatically. So, yeah, he will, Stargate. He will. That's right. He will. That's right. I don't even know what he's saying, but I'm behind what Jimmy's saying. That's right. Blackhawk's saying something's wrong with the All-Star voting. I keep getting stuck at the verify button on my Android phone and tablet. Yeah, I noticed this too. This has happened to me a couple times too. Sometimes the timer for allowing you to vote again after 24 hours is screwed up and weird. Sometimes you make your selections and it says verify you're a human, not a robot, and it just spins. It doesn't let you go. Yeah, this has happened to me too. It's very fishy. I wonder about that. And I wonder if they can detect what's on your ballot, and that's when they make it harder for you to get it through. Yeah, it does. It's very suspicious. I've seen the same thing, Neil. I've seen the very same thing. Wayne saying Jakob has had a couple of 30-plus games. To me, he's earned his touches. More pick and roll with Yak. Even better is those screens at the top of the key give Yak his touches. Yeah, I like this. I think in the last couple of games since he came back, like we got to remember, he just came back from being out for a couple of games again with his groin injury. And he's not totally gotten back into his rhythm correctly. Like he was really in a groove for most of the season so far. But that last time he went out with the split, he has not been totally right with his rhythm with the other players. Exactly. But he showed more signs of being better with the Brooklyn game. But the game before against Boston, he wasn't exactly right yet. And in some ways, like a shooter's got to find his rhythm with his jump shot, Jakob's got to find his rhythm in the offense. Playing off the other guys is the hub. And I'm totally for this. I mean, in some ways, Jakob's used as the emergency break-in in case of the 24-second shot clock is running out, dump it to him and make a little push shot in the lane. In some ways, he's not the one that they're trying to guide the ball to every time to get scoring through him, but he could be. We have pushed him that way this year. In some ways, it's kind of like, well, don't give the ball to him, work around him, let him pass to somebody else, or just let him lurk and be crashing the offensive boards to put the ball back if somebody misses. There's a lot of different strategies there with how to use Jakob, and making him the main go-to guy and putting the ball through him offensively may not be the smartest decision right now, because in some ways, I would do that early, Wayne. I would do that early, establish the paint presence and scoring in the paint, like get them beat up down low and demoralize them in that kind of way, kind of like Zach Edey and the Memphis Grizzlies did to us a couple 2 weeks ago. If we can do that, that could be very powerful at the beginning of the game. If we could get Jakob to dominate them with a series of baskets right away, that could be very, very good idea. I like that. Bryce is saying with RJ, Scotty, Emmanuel, and Grady, I can promise you we don't need a number one option as bad as you think we do, Gio. All 4 are liable for 30 on any given night. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I've never been about having one paramount guy a head and shoulders above everybody else. Part of the reason why is if that guy's out, you're screwed for the rest of the year. If you don't have that one guy you rely on so dependent, like what Giovanni's obviously describing, you can be in big trouble if that guy's not available health-wise. So, part of the problem this season is we've been missing Emmanuel. And Emmanuel is such an important part of our team that, with having Scotty and RJ also, that's been good because they can carry to an extent in the absence of Emmanuel. Or if RJ's out, they can carry in his absence. It's just that, it's like that old saying, you don't want all your chickens in one basket. You want to have them kind of diversified. And I feel like the Raptors having 4 very good offensive options, that exactly what Bryce is saying here. All 4 are liable to go for 30 at any time. Grady could get a 30-point game. Yeah. Manuel could get a 30-point game. RJ has gotten 30-point games like crazy this year. And Scotty's going to get more and more as time goes on. Yeah, I'm not worried about this. And I think that in some ways, our friend Giovanni is just trying to be a little fear monger right now and kind of like, the sky is falling. We should be more worried. No, don't be happy, Raptors, that you've won a game, the first game of New Year's. Just be unhappy and worry about what I have to say about things. Wah, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, you're a villain, man. You don't need to be a villain here. We are happy with our team, whether we win or lose, and we want to win. Don't get it twisted. We're competitive. But we're also okay with being in the state we're in and not overreacting like you are and making mistakes because we're the sky's falling. Our team's not good enough. Oh, no, that's bullshit. Our team is good enough. You're going to see it tonight. Nako's saying Grady has so much upside as a scorer. He does. He really does. The thing that's going to happen with Grady next in his career is he's going to get even more muscular and filled out and stronger. He still looks like a boy to a degree. He still looks like a kid to a degree because he's so skinny. And in some ways, he's going to fill out in his shoulders and his arms, and he's going to look more like a man in the next couple of years. He's going to grow and mature in front of us. And one of the big things is he'll have more strength and stamina to take contact through the NBA defenses and finish with his offense. And the other thing is he'll be able to maybe hold off defenders and get 3-point shots and make room for himself if he's a little bit stronger. And that's coming. He's going to have that. He's already on that weight training program. He's getting there. Him and Jacoby have both really gotten bigger arms since they joined the Raptors organization. Both of them got really stronger since they've joined the Raptors. Really, really stronger. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. Carlos saying number one scoring option is such an outdated look in the NBA. Exactly. Boom goes the dynamite. Carlo, you want a dunk? I'm going to give you one right there. Yeah, you're getting your first dunk of the year. Because that's true. Like the whole idea of that is silly. In some ways, I get it. You want somebody to be able to carry at the end of the game. and take you to the victory. Well, I think Emmanuel showed that he can figure out the waves of the game and this tempo and the way it's going and how to manipulate it and control it. And he did that in the Brooklyn game. He's going to do it again tonight. Watch. You're going to see it again tonight. That is something maybe important than just the scoring option. You need a floor general that understands how to control the game and the runs and try and guide your team to winning and landing that plane with a W at the end of the NBA game. And, you know, that's not necessarily Manuel taking over and scoring all the points himself. That's him maybe looking around, getting Scotty his baskets in the crunch time and getting RJ his baskets in the crunch time also, and Grady. So, yeah, that's part of it right there. Nobody thought the Raptors was going to win the title, and we did. And I will bet your ass we will turn Scotty into that predator. There you go. I think he already is. Seriously. Some of the stuff Scott's doing now is with the post-ups. He's getting in the low post, and he's calling for the ball with a guy on his back, and he's dribble, and then he's turning around, and he's shooting that fadeaway turnaround, and it's so money. Like in the last game, he was 14 for 18 last game. And in some ways, Giovanni, you need to respect that. The thing is, he diversified his shots. They weren't all right next to the basket. This was not his shots were all Jakob Poeltl type of shots within 10 feet. No, he was shooting 15-foot turnarounds. He was shooting a couple threes. In fact, one was a lob that he didn't even mean to make. That is impressive that he went 14 for 18, shooting at all three levels: dunks, close shots, mid-range, and three-pointers. So, yeah, don't give me this crap, man. This dude is a predator already, and he's looking to score on people, and he's aggressively going at people now. That's the thing I love. Scotty wasn't as aggressive with his offense until like a week ago. He just started turning it on in these recent games. This really kind of started around Memphis when we were playing Ja Morant, though, that he decided he was going to go tet for tat with Ja Morant, and he wasn't totally successful. He looked like failure, and that's probably why Giovanni say, "Oh, he can't do it. He can't do it because he couldn't beat Ja Morant in Memphis when they had Zach Edey and that big, huge advantage with the rebounding. That's why we lost so bad in that game. Is because of the rebounding and Zach." But Scotty, give him credit. He was stepping up to the challenge with Ja Morant and trying to go back and forth with him. He did not do it successfully. And he didn't do it successfully in the next game against the Atlanta Hawks either. But he was trying to go back and forth with Trae Young, trying to do that superstar tit for tat that I've been calling out for. And he's doing it consistently in this game too, and also against Boston. Maybe not totally successful at times. And maybe that's why Giovanni's getting all high and mighty. He's like, oh, I knew it. He's not good enough to be a number one option and do this. He's got to start somewhere. He's got to try, and he's going to fail against top teams, or he's not ready to beat yet, but he'll beat them eventually. He beat this Nets team. He was absolutely the best number one player on the court on Wednesday. I went with my own eyes and saw it for myself. So, yeah, don't give me this crap. This dude is ready to be a predator. This dude is ready to be a number one scoring option and to take it to teams. He's finally figured it out, and the aggression is there. And, yeah, let's not get this twisted. This dude is ready, man. Jimmy's saying he's obviously not a Raptors fan. Dude comes in spewing negativity, talking down on us, breaking our losing streak, and then goes on to talk trash on our star player. Bring that somewhere else. That's right. Get that garbage out of here. Like Jack Armstrong would say, Giovanni. In some ways, you've been timed out, and maybe I'll just block you from the channel forever, because we just don't need this, man. We're on a high vibes, good times. 2025 is good to the Raptors. It's going to continue to be good to them tonight. Watch. Yeah, remember this. When I said this morning, you'll see it later tonight. That's right. Blackhawks saying Pat Riley should send Butler to us for Bruce Brown, Boucher, Kelly, plus 2026 second-round pick. No, and no. I don't like that deal at all. No, I don't. Oh, I don't. I do not want to do that. Bryce is saying, bro, just mentioned Draymond as number one option, but thinks Scotty can't be one. Crazy. Draymond Green is the number one option? You are on drugs. Somebody go over to his house and test him real quick. This guy needs a test. Like, he needs a piss test real quick. Something's wrong with this guy, man. He thinks Draymond Green is the number one option. I'm glad I'm not even reading his comments. That's some crazy talk, man. I feel like if I talk to him, I might feel like I'm crazier or like dumber for it. Like if I do read his comments. No, Draymond Green has never been a number one option. I don't know what NBA you're watching. Maybe you're watching WWE NBA and you think he's a number one option for headlocks and kicks to the groin. That may be what he's a number one option for on the Warriors. But I believe a guy named Steph Curry is the number one option there. I mean, hello. Hello. Credibility out the window, Giovanni. Come on now. Carlos saying our dude is already scoring 23.6 points per game his last 5 games. I'm gonna stick with my guy SB. Thank you. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right there. Carlo is not. He understands who Scotty is. Masai understands who Scotty is. Darko understands who Scotty is, and his teammates understand who Scotty is, and that's all that matters. We don't need people that are gaslighting Raptors fans like Giovanni to understand who Scotty is, because you're not even trying to understand him. You're just trying to be an agent of confusion and chaos and bullshit is what you're trying to do right here. I know what you're up to, man. I know what you're up to. Stargate saying the ladies love the pool stash. That's probably part of it. Yeah, the mustache and his eyes. His eyes are kind of like sad eyes. He has weird sad eyes, especially after Draymond punched him in the face. Weird sad eyes. And then exiled from the Warriors. Yeah, he has those weird sad eyes. And, these girls come to the game, they sit up close, and they're like, oh, Jordan, Jordan. I've seen it online, the way the women talk about Jordan Poole. I'm telling you, this is a big factor in the All-Star votes. I'm telling you. Jimmy saying, comparing Scott to a guy who averages 8 points in his career is wild. He ain't a Draymond Green, in my opinion. Laugh out loud. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, this always pissed me off. I knew it right from the start. When Scotty got drafted, everybody said his draft comparison was Draymond Green. I said, that's not fair to Scott, because I have never thought that that's a good comparison for anybody. Draymond is 1-1 of himself. And in some ways, if you want to compare Draymond Green to other people, you think that's a compliment, not to me, because that guy is just a goon who's had the ability by the NBA to do things that other players aren't allowed to do. And he's just a special guy that gets that special privilege. In some ways, I can't respect that. And also, it's not like Scotty is, yeah, exactly. This guy's only averaged 8 points per game his career. You can talk about his defensive prowess and all this bullshit. Scotty's just as good a defender as Draymond. He'll learn more and be more athletic and better defender than him. The only thing that Draymond has over him is smarts and experience as far as how to be dirty and play dirty in those ways. Some people say he's a defensive genius. I see he's just a guy who gets extra rules for him that don't apply to him, because he is a golden boy in the NBA in a weird inverse way, that he's a villain golden boy, and they allow him to do that. Draymond Green has never been a good scorer. Never, ever been a good scorer. Scotty is a good scorer. That's the end of the argument right there. Right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, Giovanni, why are you filling it up so much with your garbage? You filled up the net with garbage. Nako's saying Tatum's offense is flawed. Best player on the Celtics, and he's not a true one. This is the first year of the rebuild with this core going forward. Yeah, let's talk about the Celtics. Is the true number one Jason Tatum? No, I don't believe that. If I was going to pick a number one for that team, is Jaylen Brown, the MVP of the finals. The guy who actually does the steady stuff, is more efficient and does more all-around good play for the Celtics. But Jason Tatum is the media machine's golden boy that gets pushed down our throats, even though in some ways he's not the best player on his team. Jaylen Brown is. And I mean, that's not totally clear. And in some ways, our situation could be applicable to the Celtics situation. Tatum and Brown have played together for a long time now, and they've coexisted very well. People try to pull them apart, including myself, and they haven't been pulled apart. Well, that's just why something like Barnes and Barrett and Quickly can happen and cohabitate and be very successful also. Because, Brown and Tatum, look at what they did. Why can't Barrett and Barnes play together? That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying. That's right. That's right. He was timed out for 86,000 seconds, y'all. Bye, Felicia. Yeah, W for Lex. You're going to give me a W. All right, I'm going to take a dunk for kicking him out, because honestly, this is a year for self-respect, and I'm not having gaslighters in here like some of the people that were here last year. No, we ain't doing this year, y'all. Seriously. I have real ones, enough real ones that I don't need these kind of people here. Neil's saying, I agree, Lex. We need power forward and center. I hope we can get one more second-round pick, and we can pick up the Visage brothers in the second round. Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out, the second round, and hopefully get that W for Lex. You like that. You guys are all about that. I like that. Blackhawk saying trading for Jimmy is to help Riley piss off Jimmy. Oh, to get him to us? Well, I don't want to disgruntle Jimmy on our team either. I mean, he would be tough in Taskmaster and kind of like, you guys need to be tougher in this way, like he did with Minnesota. But also at the same time, is that what the Raptors need right now? Is a pissed off Jimmy Butler because he's in Canada because he got punished by Pat Riley? No, I think he'd be a distraction. And I think the vibes on our team are very, very good right now overall, for considering what we've been through with losing.
And I don't want to mess that up. I mean, I know Jimmy would be a professional and he would probably be a bonus, but in some ways, we don't want to do this to him. We're not the right fit for him. It just doesn't make any sense, is what I'm saying. Jimmy's saying Ace Bailey went off with 39 points, 8 boards, 4 blocks, 1 steal. I'm a big fan, but he lacks passing. But I think Darko can fix that. But he's a bucket getter and 6'10". Yeah, I love that. That's a great height. In some ways, height is important to basketball. I'm serious. I really do want guys that are 6'9" or above on our team more and more, because the NBA is showing a lot of teams with a lot of length, and it has been an issue in some of the games that we lost recently. So, in some ways, yes. Ace Bailey, hello. You're a Raptor next year. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I'd rather have Bailey than Flag at this point. Seriously. Trevor's saying they had to carry out D'Angelo Russell off the court with an injury last night. That's sad. I don't like hearing that. Jaden Ivey the night before, and now D'Angelo Russell got hurt in the Milwaukee Brooklyn game last night, and he had to be taken out. Wow. Just got back to the Nets and just started playing for them. That's crazy. It's crazy. Stargate saying, I used to like Ace, but I'm noticing a selfish streak with him. He's what you young folks call a chucker. A chucker. Okay, so he's a bit of a chucker. Well, I'm gonna have to scout him. I do not know much about Ace Bailey. I don't know if I'll scout today, guys. Maybe, but I don't really kind of want to scout every day. We'll do it like every even day. So we did one yesterday for Nako on his birthday, for his birthday. And well, I'll do another scout tomorrow, guys, for sure. But today I'm in a bind. I want to finish up on time in the next 40 minutes. And so maybe we'll hold off on doing another scout today, because I don't want to run out of scouts too up until the draft. So maybe it's an even days that we can do scouts, just because I don't want to make it an everyday segment, because it's we already have 2 very everyday segments that that take a lot of time already. All right, let's keep going. Nako's saying, I think Scotty's scoring is going to be way good. IQ makes us closer to a complete team. I like Ace's form a lot. Right now, I'd probably go for Harper instead. You want Dylan Harper instead? Well, he's a smaller guy. He's a guard. And in some ways, when I was just talking about with height, I'd rather have Ace just because of that. I mean, I'll have to see if he is a selfish chucker, like's been alleged here, and kind of look at his tendencies from the highlights. Ah, man, I kind of almost want to do it right now. But we'll do it tomorrow. Maybe we'll check out Ace Bailey tomorrow. Maybe Dylan Harper. Whoever calls out the first scout of the day tomorrow, we'll do it. We'll do it there. Yeah. Scotty is better because Emmanuel's back. Emmanuel sets him up in easier ways. That's the thing about Emmanuel that I like so much. And I think people are starting to notice is that Emmanuel's a very much a true point guard. And he really cares about getting the ball to guys so they'll be successful. That's the thing I love. You can say you're a point guard because you're a little guy in the league and you pass to people. But if you don't know how to silver platter guys to make the shot and really make it, I don't think you're a really good point guard, because the point guard is about the assist and making the conversion of the basket from the assist. And if you're passing the ball to somebody to their knees and they have to bring it up and then they shoot and they make it, that assist isn't as good as a assist to guys right to where he likes to catch it and release and shoot right away. There's differences in this. And Emmanuel gets this. I mean, the alley-oop from him to Scott was very well-crafted, silver platter kind of alley-oop. And there's been other great passes he did in that last game for Grady Dick and Oshai Abaji in rhythm with their body, like their way they like to play. He's keeping in mind how they like to catch it and giving it to them on a silver platter. And that's the secret to his success. 15 assists, 1 turnover. And that's what I love. And that is going to make Scotty's offense better, because Emmanuel's setting them up with silver platters and easy conversions to score, like the lobs to him and Mouse in the House, just dunking it on people, looking up the court, seeing Scotty down already with a small defender underneath the basket, passing it perfectly to him in the pocket like a quarterback in football would, and Scotty just laying it up in the basket, some of the easiest shots he can make. That's something that Emmanuel's going to help immensely with Scotty right there. He helps him so much. Yeah. Let's see. Jimmy saying, I guess his difficult shot making leaves me in awe, but he definitely needs to work on his passing ability. Who are we talking about right here? Are we talking about Ace? We're talking about Ace. Okay. Carlos saying, I saw some comps for Cooper Flag as Scotty and Siakam, a better defensive prospect. They're comparing Cooper Flag to Pascal Siakam and Scotty Barnes. Wait, I thought this guy was a 3-point shooter. I may be confused about what Cooper Flag's build is. I'm going to have to scout him. Y'all, I don't even know enough about Cooper Flag to talk about him like that.
So we'll just see. We're going to do the scout of the day, and you'll get it's just like music reaction videos. Lex sees a basketball player for the first time in his life, and he tells you exactly what he thinks. Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to do one of these main guys, top guys, Bailey or Harper or Flag. We'll do them tomorrow, one of them. Yeah, Slug saying once we replace Boucher, Brown, Olenek, Mitchell with better fits or upgrades and make a few tweaks around the edges, this will be a top half of the East team based on talent. I think that some of those guys are very valuable and useful, even past what you're talking about. I think Mitchell is a really good player. I think that in some ways we need to hold on to him. In this summer, it'll be very interesting to see how we treat Davion, because I feel like he's fit in really well with our culture and what we're trying to do defensively. And in some ways, he is a very, very talented, good player for us to have on our roster going forward. But it will be up to the Raptors to invest in him again this summer when he's a free agent. We'll have to see. In some ways, we didn't pick up his extension to allow for the flexibility of deciding in the summer, but he could also walk partly because of that. But I think he's enjoying being a Raptor. And if there's a fair price, I could see us re-signing Davion Mitchell this summer as far as things. As far as Boucher, he could get traded, but I kind of don't want him to at this point. He's such a culture guy. He's such a long-time Raptor at this point. And once again, I value these Canadians staying on our team. Brown, trade them today. I don't care. Olenek and Boucher, don't really want to see them traded, and neither with Mitchell either. But I do concur with you, Slug Deezy, that there are areas of our roster where we can make improvements, and that will help us elevate in the Eastern Conference for sure. Jimmy's saying, but to see that level of shot making that Young only makes you think of the potential. That's why I would go Ace, but you can't go wrong with any of the top guys. Man, I'm gonna have to see him. Y'all are getting me excited to do some of the scouts now, because I'm gonna have to see this. Wayne saying there's nothing worse than kindergarten IQ suggesting we trade our named players with unnamed replacements. If anyone is suggesting we trade Kelly, Bruce, and Boucher, who are the replacements? Well, I think with Kelly and Boucher, Kelly that's somebody we would have to think about how to replace. Now, Boucher and Brown is different. Those guys are kind of extras, and they're not totally necessary for what we are doing with our team. Like if we lost Brown or Boucher, it wouldn't hurt as much as Kelly. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true, because Kelly is part of the lack of size that we have on our team. He's one of the few guys that actually can play center for us, even if he's not the best. And that's the problem. Boucher is a great player. He's hustle. Boucher and Brown are similar. They're very good add-on pieces to teams that are fighting for a championship that can possibly help them get to the last piece. But in some ways, they're not essential for the Raptors in what we're doing to go forward. So talking about replacing them, I'm not worried as much as Kelly is. Let's just put it that way. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. Good morning to you, MJ. Hope everything's good in the Ottawa region of this nation, this great nation of Canada. I'm proud Canadian, and I'd like to be a Canadian for as long as possible. No crazy stuff, USA. We are happy to be our own sovereign nation, and we ain't got nothing to do with y'all down there. Stargate saying at Wayne, yes, it's rather annoying. It's like they believe it's 2K or something. That is a problem, seriously. It's weird because, some young people may be basing stuff off of NBA 2K, the video game, for sure. Some of them used to base things off of fantasy. Some people would get proclivities for liking a player or hating a player just from their fantasy teams and them playing them. And now there's the whole wrinkle of the betting. And, I wonder about how betting culture around the NBA shapes people's opinions of players also. Some of it is probably really not grounded in reality with basketball stuff that matters. It has to do more with this guy didn't hit his parlay on a rebound and I didn't make a $500 bet. There's all kinds of weird reasons why people may be thinking they're experts about team building in the NBA because they do the ESPN trade machine at this point. It's crazy. There's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, myself included, and some of us just don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm saying that. Yeah, we really don't. We're basing it off the video game. You're basing it off your fantasy team. You're basing it off your bets, your parlays. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's talk about X's and O's. Let's talk about what works and wins in the NBA. And some of that stuff isn't on the stat sheet. Some of that stuff isn't in the box score. And you can't quantify it. It has something to do with heart, getting after it, and getting loose balls and all kinds of other things. That's right. Most saying W Stream, W Vibes. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew, strong forever. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. I got about a half an hour. I'm going to try and wrap it up before then. Trevor J saying, peace out to all those 2K basketball analysts who may never pick up a basketball, but know more than the real basketball player. That's one of the things that annoys me. I mean, a lot of the kids that do play 2K, some of them will go out and play basketball in real life, but probably not as much as they used to. That's the crazy thing. I know when I was young, I would spend 5 days out of 7 days a week on a basketball court for maybe 4 or 5 hours every day, 5 days a week. Yeah, I was like that. I loved playing, and I just loved feeling exhausted from running up and down the court and playing so much. And this is when I'm like a teenager into my early 20s. And I'm in college. I get classes, you do your classes, you got maybe a part-time job, you work a little bit, and then you go and hit the hoops and you hoop out for a long time. And I had a couple places I played in Tallahassee where I would play all the time. And playing recently with my nephew in Atlanta, I realized it's true. I've gotten older and I got old man strength. And then also my fundamentals are even more sound at this point. It's crazy. It's like I hadn't played in a while regularly. And I've kind of forgotten some of my bad habits, and I'm just doing things right way, coming back into it. It was really, really weird. My footwork, my dribble, all kinds of stuff was tightened up, even though I hadn't really played basketball in 2 years. It was really weird. Really, really weird. Yeah, older players know how to play fundamentally right because they have to. They're not as young and energetic and able to make so many mistakes. It's like you're counting your footwork because you don't want to step so many times. So funny. Oh, so good. Yeah. Fiercey saying Giovanni came to the wrong space. That's right, Fiercey. That's right. You got shown the door. Sorry, we're all about positivity and support of our team over here. That's right. We don't have no time for this. The sky is falling with snow, not sky is falling with doom for the Raptors. No, things are bright and sunny, and we're going to get things right in 2025, Giovanni. Get with the program, my guy. Seriously, get with the program, my dude. Get your head out your ass and be happier, my guy. Trevor's saying Jimmy Butler said he wants to get his joy back playing basketball. He's not happy playing basketball in Miami. Wow. That's not a ringing endorsement to get people to come and play for the Heat. I mean, Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. He's probably the best coach in the league right now. But man, what's up with that? Jimmy Butler's Heat culture, and he doesn't even want to be in Heat culture. Something's weird there. Something's very weird there. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak Crew, joining late. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Glad to see you here. You're fairly here at time. You're not right at the end of the stream, so you're going to get a half hour of the stream. That's pretty cool. Good to see you, Cool Cat. Actually, you've been here for a while because that comment was from earlier, I'm sure. Wayne saying in the Boston game, it was instructive that their main instructions were to keep Jakob and Scotty out of the paint. Most of our points per season are in the paint. Got to read the room and disrupt. Yeah, that was something that Coach Joe definitely adjusted from the first time we played the Celtics and went to overtime, and they had to beat us on a buzzer beater. That Jakob ate their lunch, absolutely dominated them. And that was a key thing that they worked on in the game against them where they beat us so bad, is that they really tried to take away the power of us down low with Yak. That was so important to them, and they did a very good job. Al Horford is such a veteran player that's very smart, and he was a big part of that, a very, very big part of that in what we're describing right there. Blackhawk saying, I don't entertain conversations about number one, number two, and number three because every player has to reach the individual potential, but find how to meld that with the team objectives. Yeah. I feel like this has been important for the Raptors and their rosters in the last few years, whether it's the old regime or the new regime now, because even when we had Fred and Pascal in them, it was not like there was Siakam could have been like the number one, but not at any given night. It could be a different guy was stepping up and doing most of the scoring, being and Scotty was a part of that group before, where he could step up and be more of the main guy and important in carrying and stuff. I think that there's strength and diversity in having multiple options in this. I think that if you're an overwhelmingly very, very good player like a Kawhi Leonard, and they know it's going to be you over and over again, well, and you're able to do it, that's great. But if you can keep them guessing by having 4 or 5 guys that could take over and become the leading scorer that night for your team, that is a good strategy. That's a good thing. But somebody has to do it every night. That's the other problem. is that somebody has to step up and do it. And we can't have people waiting and being lackadaisical. It seems like the default is RJ is going to come gangbusters and try and do it himself. But like we said, Grady could have a really good night where he's hot and he's finding spots and he's open and he's the leading scorer. He's the number one kind of feel of the player. It could be that Emmanuel decides that his matchup is really, really good for the night and he's going to burn his point guard counterpoint and he'll go for 30 and be carrying us, which I have no problem with because Emmanuel Quickly is a dynamic scorer that can score a lot of baskets, and I have no problem with him being selfish. He has the right to do it because he has the ability to back it up in an efficient way, unlike some of these jabronis coming to our team that are acting like point guards, but they just take over and they try and do everything themselves. Kennedy Chandler, Javon Freeman Liberty. And that's what I'm saying. Emmanuel has the right to do it because he will do it effectively and successfully. Those other guys will try and be hero ball and ignore their teammates and be bad point guards. Yeah, I'm not about that. But Emmanuel can do that because he knows the right balance. And if he feels like he's the right option, I'm going to trust in him to call his own number 5 in those situations. Yeah, Smooth saying DeMar DeRozan for Jimmy Butler. I could see that happening. That'd be weird. That'd be a weird one. I don't know if that's I think that's a lateral move for Jimmy. It's not like he's going to a better team that has a better chance if he does that. I think the Kings and the Heat are about the same place in the standings and their chances to get the Larry O'Brien this year. And in some ways, that's not going to be the move that's flashy or showy for him and what he wants, I'm sure. But maybe he just wants to change his scenery and he'd be welcoming that and going to the West Coast and playing for the Kings. That's an interesting idea. DeMar on the Miami Heat. Wow, that's an interesting idea too. Let's see. Stargate saying Igor, Jeremiah Fears, or Kasparis are Raptor-type players. All right, we're going to see all of them in the months to come. Leading up to the draft, I will do my scouts on every single one of these players over time. Smooth Brown Man saying Sacramento gets a A-level closer and Miami gets a mid-range savant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that deal's worth doing. I don't know. In some ways, I get the feeling that Miami's going to be stingy and they're not going to fulfill Jimmy's wishes. I got that feeling that's what's going to happen. Yeah, DeMar is eligible to be traded. Yeah, I believe that. Blackhawks saying, Lex, there are over 100 draft picks to scout. You will not run out of them. The top picks have to be revisited periodically to see if they're holding up. Yeah, but I don't want to do all the 100. In some ways, that's like 3 months. That is still not totally leading up to the draft. The draft is in June, right? So it's like I have 6 months to go until then. So there aren't enough of them. Trust me. So we do it every other day, at least for right now. If we get closer to the draft, I may say we can do them every day. But for right now, we're easing into them. We'll do them every other day. So I'll do one tomorrow. And if you want to be the person to request the scout of the day, make sure you get in here early and put that request in first if you want that one. Gerald got the first one because it was his birthday on New Year's, and I wanted to give him a birthday present. And it was the kid from South Sudan. He was good. I liked him. He was good. Let's see. Randolph's here. Blessings, game day blessings, beloved Raptors freaks. Most informative gang. Let's be deliberate and intentional about making this world a better place for us and the generations to come. Yeah, this is the short-sightedness of our society today is everybody's thinking about short-term profits and not long-term sustainability. And I hate this. I mean, kids today understand that we're like just destroying our planet for economics that just don't even matter. And there's not even any logic to it. It's just really self-serving egos at the top. And it's so dumb that we have enough for everybody to be taken care of. But the distribution of wealth in our society is so screwed up right now that we could house and feed everyone for less than what we actually have. But it's just not a fair world in that way. And part of the problem is we're also extracting and destroying our natural environment for short-sighted profits and gains that won't matter in the long term. But not having a planet that's habitable and able for us to live in, well, that's a problem. That's why I say we need to leave this better place for the generations to come and stop thinking about greedy bottom lines and quarterly reports, corporations. It's so fucked up. Because honestly, I feel bad. I wonder about the air quality that's going to be around in this world. I wonder about the ever increasing rising sea levels. They're going to take lands away from continents and people's houses underwater. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that's on the horizon in the next 50 years that we could avoid if we try to do better. but we don't care. We only care about this. And the people that are in power only care about this. And they'll run this whole planet in the ground just because of this. And it's so stupid. And in some ways, I'm going to do my part in my world to make a better place for the generations to come. I wish that corporations who are supposed to be people would have this in mind also, but they don't. They don't. They'll cut corners and screw us all over in our own environment every which way if they can, just to make that profit. It sucks. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. So yeah, do it in your own neck of the woods and your level if you can. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, Smooth saying Sacramento's in deep trouble. They're desperate to keep De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, they really have failed. And firing Mike Brown recently is a real change. And I feel bad in some ways. I know some people may be saying DeMar this, DeMar that. I'm going to respect DeMar as a GOAT no matter what, and he's not the issue. I think that Sacramento caught fire, and they had a really good hot streak a couple years ago. They've kind of come down to earth, and they're more regularly who they are supposed to be. And people just thought that the team that they were before was who they were going to grow into and continue to be. And that's a cautionary tale for all teams in the league. You can have a really fire a couple of years, Mike Brown getting the coach of the year, and then a drop off afterwards because in some ways it just wasn't sustainable. Yeah, this stuff happens. And well, that's what's going on with Sacramento right now. I don't think the De'Aaron Fox is as good as everybody thinks he is. I think he's one of the fastest players in the league, but I think he's overrated. And in some ways, that's part of the problem in Sacramento right now. He's not as good as everybody thinks he is. Monique saying won't be in the 905 chat. Maybe pop in at halftime tonight. My last night until the 13th, 21st, and 27th. I need my breaks. Going to learn my new chair when it arrives on the 8th and more. That's exciting. Monique, that's so exciting. You're going to get your new chair on the 8th of January, and you got to learn the new breaks and stuff like that. That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. And you're going to go tonight, but you're not going to be going for a little bit after that. Yeah, I get it. You got that coach's open house coming up too. You got to be ready for it at the end of this month. And once again, y'all, 2 weeks from Sunday, we're going to be going to Paramount Fine Food Center again for another Raptor Freak Hangout for the 905 versus the Valley Suns, the brand new G League team for the Phoenix Suns. They'll be coming to Mississauga for the first time ever, and I'll be at that game. If you want to come to that game with me, it's a 2:00 game on a Sunday afternoon out in Mississauga. So if you can get out there and go to the game with me, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to be sitting at courtside. Hopefully, going to get some seats down near the court. So if that sounds like fun to you, let's go. Let's go on January the 19th is the date. If you're interested, meet me at Paramount around 1:30. I'll be there. Yeah. Way to go, Mo. Happy New Year. Yeah, let's give Monique a dunk for getting her new chair. And fantastic things happening for her starting this year. You got it. Your second dunk of the year. You got 6 dunks now. 2 3-pointers. Booyakasha. Booyakasha. Let's see. Wayne's saying the point is, Lex, abstract trades without having a named improvement is kindergarten. Bruce Brown is tradable, yes, but for who? More Boucher for who? Give me some names. Educate me. Well, I mean, it's so wide open in my mind that, maybe there's realistically only a small window of what is possible to get for Bruce Brown. And I should just look at that. But I don't do the research or figure all that out because in some ways it's a futile kind of exercise for something that may never happen. I don't know. I mean, I like sometimes trade scenarios coming to me if they kind of seem like they could realistically happen. For Bruce Brown, like I said, I just want I may want a player type more than a specific player. And I've been very clear about it. I want a big. I want a 4 or 5 just to bolster that depth on our team. And I don't know. I don't have any names, specific teams or specific names, because I'm not really looking at it that way. In some ways, I like to be surprised by Bobby and Masai and see what they end up doing, because it's amazing what they can do sometimes. Jalen McDaniels. Hello. Yeah. Cool Cat saying 2025 start out busy at work. Okay. So she's very busy at work. That's why she's late. Hope that RJ is available tonight so we can see the barbecue in effect. Yeah, me too. That's Pat Frere's favorite meal, the crew chief for the referees tonight. He loves barbecue. I love barbecue too. I want to see it on the court tonight. That's right. Neil's saying we have to see who and what a trade brings back. Trade talk is nothing more than fantasy talk. Whatever front office does will be it. Whether it's good or bad, time will tell. Yeah, I once again, we trust in Masai. That's one of the main rules of this channel, is that we don't go against our front office because they have a proven track record. And they've gotten a Larry O'Brien in a place where everybody thought it would be impossible to ever win a championship in Toronto. Well, we did. And Masai was the architect. So why would we not believe in him? He did something amazing, turning Jalen McDaniels into what he did this summer. So I'm really curious to see what happens finally with Bruce Brown at the end of his Raptors tenure with us, because it's going to be very interesting to see what they get for him. Seriously, I trust in them. I know they're going to do a good job. Trevor's saying 14 people lost their life in the senseless attack on New Year's Eve in New Orleans. That was so sad. Yeah, I didn't know at the time when you brought this up the other day, Trevor. That's why I didn't comment on that time. Apparently, it happened at like almost 4 in the morning in the French Quarter around New Year's, and that's why it just happened. And I didn't know any of the details. Apparently, former U.S. Army veteran got a big F-150 truck and drove around a barrier into the French Quarter and drove over a bunch of people on purpose as an act of terror. And they jumped out the truck, and he shot with officials until they shot him dead on the street. Yeah, that's awful. That's really, really bad. In some ways, it smacks of the van attack around Shepherd Avenue in North York that happened with that one guy here where he ran over a bunch of people on the sidewalk. This is something that people need to be wary of, that this is actually a mode of weaponization that terrorists are utilizing at this point. And I'm not just going to say terrorists like the guy who did that. There's terrorists that are racist, like Dylan Roof and the people that drove over people in Charlotte or in North Carolina that one time that were protesting. Yeah, be very wary. In some ways, and you're in big crowds in public in different places, have an escape route just in case things turn ugly for whatever reason. And if there's confusion and there's people driving over people in a crowd, yeah, be on your toes and look out. That is really, really awful stuff. You know, when I was at the Raptors championship parade, I always had an idea of where I was going to go just in case the crowd got crazy or things started going crazy. And in fact, there was a shooting at the city hall, and Evelyn was there, our Raptor Freak Evelyn. She twisted her ankle running away from the gunman in the middle of that. So it's always good to have a plan when you're in big gatherings of people in public, just in case something crazy happens, and have an escape route or some idea of where you were going to go in direction. It's kind of like they tell you if you fly on a plane, count how many rows into the emergency exit so that you know, just in case you're disoriented, how to get out of there, of that plane, just in case something crazy happens. Well, have a plan of escape just in case things turn awry if you're in a massive group of people. And I don't care which one it is. It could be any kind of gathering in downtown Toronto or whatever city you're in. Yeah, have an escape plan just in case. That is really sad. And they're just ordinary people that were there trying to have a good time on New Year's in a very historic place to have a good time. And that was not a good time that night. It's really bad. Stargate saying the only person I would be interested in from Sacramento is Arvidas Jr. Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting player. I don't know if he's better than Jakob though. That's the crazy thing. Seriously. Like if we're thinking about like is that an upgrade for Jakob Pertl? I don't think he is. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? I don't think it is. I think that Jakob has more experience, and in some ways I like his game better because in some ways I don't know. Maybe I have to think about that a little bit more deeply. Who would you guys rather have, Sabonis or Pertl? Because I kind of rather just have Pertl, honestly. I mean, Arvidas Sabonis Jr. is not a bad player, honestly. All right, let me go and do the next thing. The next thing is the classic card. So let's go ahead and get the classic card out. It has not been very classic because I'm taking cards from Christmas that I got from my niece and nephew. So let's see what the not so classic card of the day is. First person to write the full name in will get the card for today. It's a rookie card once again. There's that RC. So this is somebody who was a rookie last year. And let's see if somebody can name this Utah Jazz player who's got the rookie card right here. I was not able to guess this one when they gave me this one. They were trying to let me guess it from the height and the weight and the school and stuff on the back. And I couldn't guess this guy for some reason. I know that this guy was highly touted by Gubstown Clink last year for the draft. This was somebody he said was going to be one of the best rookies last year. He went on and on his content on his channel about this guy. So if you can figure out who this person is, this rookie for the Jazz from last season, you will get the classic card. This seems like a tough one, so I might give 150 for this one because it seems like you guys aren't getting it right away. It's kind of like Jalen Slauson the other day. You guys figured out Jalen Slauson. Well, who is this? Yeah. Nins is waiting for the classic card, but has no idea who it is. Way too recent for me to know. Yeah, this is very recent. This is like the opposite of the classic card. Reggie's World is very classic. Well, this is very recent. and somebody who's not the most well-known player either. I will give you guys some clues with the name if you guys are having trouble with this too much. I will give you a clue, but I want a couple guesses at least, just real quick before I do that. Shaquille Harrison. Shaquille Harrison's not exactly right. I'll say this. Here's my clue for you guys. This person has the same first name as our guy in Kentucky. Yeah, our good friend, our Raptor Freak in Kentucky. This guy has the same first name as the guy, our guy in Kentucky who's watching today, who I shouted out to and gave us a dunk to when I seen him in the chat this morning. Yeah, who was that? The first name of our Kentucky Raptor Freak is the same first name of this player. And that should get you the first name at least, and then you can go from there and trying to figure it out. Yeah, let's see. Retracted message. No Shaquille Harrison. Is that? I don't even know that name, Shaquille Harrison. I'm trying to think of that. That's an interesting name. Man, we're going to be tough on this one. This rookie that has the same name as Raptor Freak from Kentucky. And if you know that their name, you can figure it out. That's their first name. They don't spell it the same, though. They don't spell it the same, but it is the same first name. Man, we're not getting anywhere with this. Utah Jazz rookie last year, tough card. Bryce Simpson. That's a good guess. Bryce Simpson. His last name does start with an S. So you got the right. There we go. Carlo got it. It is Bryce Sensabaugh. That is who it is. And you even got the name spelled right, too. Look at that. Carlo JS getting the classic card of the day. It's Bryce Sensabaugh of the Utah Jazz, and his rookie card is the classic card of the day. Not very much a classic card, but yeah. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Carlo JS getting the classic card of the day. Let me write it in real quick. Bryce Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh. That's an interesting name, eh? Bryce Sensabaugh. All right. Carlo JS. And we're going to give you a 150 because that seemed like that was a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be. There you go. All right. Let me do the rundown. I forgot to do the birthdays yesterday, guys. There was a birthday yesterday that I should have said something about, and it was Corey Blunt's birthday. Former Raptor Corey Blunt had his birthday yesterday. And today we've got former Raptors assistant coach and one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA ever, Coach Alex English. Happy birthday to you, Alex English. He is, as of today, let me figure this out. Wow, he's 70 today, guys. So happy 70th birthday to Alex English of the former Nuggets and also Raptors assistant coach. Way back, DeMar DeRozan had a very strong connection with Alex English as a rookie because he was an assistant coach for the Raptors when DeMar came in. So happy birthday to him. And also happy birthday to Malachi Richardson, not Malachi Flynn, Malachi Richardson. Y'all remember Malachi Richardson? He was on our team just briefly. He didn't play very long for us. So happy birthday, Alex English, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA. In fact, he's the guy who scored the most points in the decade of the 1980s. Out of all NBA players, he scored the absolute most points the whole entire decade of the 80s. Not Magic, not Larry, not Michael, Alex English. He's the guy who did it. That's right. That's right. Wayne saying who? Or Stargate saying who? Bryce Sensabaugh. Yeah, Bryce Sensabaugh. Wayne saying, Lexcom, my previous conversation is not pointed to your opining on trades. You don't. It's directed to the post suggesting we trade known quantities for unnamed ghosts. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Wayne. I'm with you on that. I get you like with this. I don't like people just saying we need to trade Chris or Rock and they don't tell me who they would trade for. No, I get it. Sometimes it just sounds like they just want to trade our guys out of here. And that's all they care about. That I get a red flag when I hear people talk about, well, we need to trade Jakob because he just doesn't fit. Well, tell me who you want to trade him for and give me a good idea what you're thinking. And then I can think about whether it's intelligent or not. No, I totally get what you're saying, Wayne. I absolutely get it. And I'm with you on it. I have the same kind of mentality. Mischief saying, Deron Williams I'm looking forward to this game tonight. I want at least one or two 2025 second round picks for Bruce Brown or let him walk for free. Okay. All right. Those are interesting options. Deron Williams. Oh, did you think that this was Deron Williams? No, that's Bryce Sensabaugh. Bryce Sensabaugh. Castan, I just guessed a random last name. Okay, yeah, you just put Simpson in there. Yeah, I mean, that's a way to do it. Stargate saying Alex English should have been a top 75. He was snubbed. Yeah, I think he should have been in the top 75 in the 75th year of the NBA. I thought he wasn't he? No, he was snubbed. Yeah, he should have been in there over Dame Lillard or James Harden or Anthony Davis. There are a couple of more recent guys that were in the top 75 all-time players, and they did not deserve to be in there. They really, really didn't. Partly because they didn't achieve anything. James Harden being one of them. Dame Lillard, another one. I don't count this NBA Cup he just got. Yeah, Alex English, he may not have won anything either, but his scoring and where he is on the scoring charts, he's up there. He's up there. He actually did win, I think, in the ABA though, like before. Carlos saying agreed. Stargate and Lillard should not have been, and Lillard should not have been in this top 75. See, he's even saying the same name I just said. Exactly. All right, let me go down the rundown in the last 6 minutes here of the chat before 2 hours is up. Our only injury on our list right now is RJ Barrett. He's day to day due to illness, and it's very likely he'll play tonight. And we'll have the full Raptors roster healthy against the Orlando Magic tonight. That'll be fantastic. I'll love that so much. In Orlando, they have a bit of injuries. Right now, Anthony Black has been listed as questionable due to his back. Trevelyan Queen is probable. He's ill, just like RJ. Gary Harris is out due to a hamstring. Paulo Banchero is out due to his oblique. Mortiz Wagner had an ACL torn, and he is out. And Franz Wagner is out also due to his obliques. So with Banchero and Franz out, that's a big blow to Orlando and their talent. So the Raptors need to capitalize and beat their ass tonight. The referees for the Austin Spurs at Raptors 905 at Paramount at 7:30. Same time. They're starting the same time. Both games are on at the same time. It's annoying. Marcy Williams is the crew chief, number 72. Gina Catanzariti is the referee, number 5. And Kelsey Reynolds is the umpire, number 15. For the Raptors game, our referee crew chief is Pat Frayer. Pat Frayer, we have won all 3 games that he has refereed for the Raptors so far this season, which is fantastic. He does favor the Orlando Magic statistically in history, though. Kevin Cutler is the referee, number 34. He favors the Raptors. And John Connolly is the umpire, number 56. He favors the Raptors also. And we have not seen either Cutler or Conley in a Raptors game so far this season. But Pat Frayer, 3-0 so far this season with him around on the sidelines refereeing. So that's pretty good. Happy birthday, Alex English. Happy birthday, Malachi Richardson. Y'all check your Raptor Freak fantasy teams where the season rolls on. And right now I'm kicking HC's team 7-0 so far this week. I like that. Also, the Kensington Variety VIP Club episodes are coming out still 5 years to the day when they happened. And there's a new episode out today, 2020 Vision, where I ask customers in the store about their vision for 2020 5 years ago, and they get a free can of pop for just sharing what they are going to do in the new year of 2020 at that time. Obviously, this is a couple months before the pandemic happened. And it's very, very interesting to see life right before the pandemic, what we were saying, and the dreams and aspirations we had for 2020 before it all went crazy because of something called COVID-19. So, yeah, if you want to see the historical documentation of when the pandemic hit, watch the Kensington Variety VIP Club that's getting posted on this channel as videos at midnight on the days when those episodes happen. So check out the one for today. Always interesting to see that time capsule. As far as, at least to me, it's kind of interesting to see what's going on 5 years ago. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. I'm really, really feeling good about tonight. I feel like the Raptors have a good chance to get a 2-game winning streak going by beating the Magic tonight. Let's take care of home court. Raptors fans, come to the arena correctly and be loud and cheer very, very loudly for them on defense. It really can matter and help them and buoy them towards better energy and stopping the other team. So I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Trevor's saying, why do I have the 2 games on the same day on the same time? 9:05 should have been earlier. Well, I think it's because it's a Friday. And it's not like, I mean, if they could have done a schoolyard day game with like at 11 o'clock this morning, it would have worked. But I don't know. It's just the way it is. Sometimes scheduling is just like this. At least they're both in the same city. But yeah, it's annoying. In some ways, I don't want Mobo to lose his streak because he's in Mississauga, but he might tonight. And that's just how it's going to be. And so what? Osbaji will be the only Raptor who's played in every game up until now if this happens. So we'll have to see how that goes down. It could be also that Jonathan was just practicing with them yesterday, and he actually is going to be playing for the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena instead. I don't know. We'll have to see how they handle it. With everybody healthy, it's more likely he is going to be in Mississauga, though. And then tomorrow, they're going to play Austin Spurs immediately once again, right away, tomorrow also. So there will be a reaction to both the games today. And then a small preview for Austin Spurs at Raptors 905, game 2, Saturday also. Yeah. Cool Cat saying the All-Star list released. I was a bit confused. I realized it's fan base. Laugh out loud. I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly. That's not totally clear. The releases of the early voting for the All-Star is not surprising. It is what it is. And in some ways, they're going to vote names. And in some ways, also going to kind of keep in consideration which teams are at the top. Like Cleveland should be getting more consideration for All-Star because of their historic year that they're having this year. In fact, the Cavaliers are having their best year ever, and that includes years with LeBron James on their team. Let's just think about that, y'all. That includes LeBron years, and the Cavs are having their best year ever right now. That's very interesting to me in some ways. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak channel. Let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Orlando Magic tonight. Let's go Raptors.